gentlemen, I'd like to spin you a yarn. Before I start, where's my clicker? Before I start, I'd like to thank my sponsor, AWI, Nuffield Australia, my family, friends, to whom none of this would have been possible. My name is Andrew Rolfe. I'm a 7th generation wool producer from the beautiful Merino. In 2020, I was awarded the Nuffield Scholarship, eager to explore the precision merino systems, but little did I know, life had other plans. That's a lovely Monaro. If anyone knows the area, it's fast, rugged and tough. After being awarded my scholarship, my parents Stephen and Joe decided it would be a great time to go through our family succession plan. So me and my wife Zoe ended up buying 2/3 of the family farm and leasing the rest. As we were going through the financing the deal, we heard part of the neighbour was coming up. We couldn't pass up on that. Then I had another call offering a lease block just down the road. Yeah, it was cheap. I'll have a crack at that too. We're self-replacing merino producers with a balance of breeding ewes, pretty basic system to terminal rams. Farm was understocked, bought some more land, another lease block. It's gave me the opportunity to build a new system. I can do what I want, can't I? Ewe prices were pretty dear, and I got righto, had a look and decided buying composite ewe lambs were the way to go. They're robust, resilient animals. So I hooked in, bought 5,500 ewes and 100 rams. So by the start of 2022, we had 8,000 ewes running over 4,000 hectares. I did all my budgets, conserved all my prices, battle tested out to 7% interest rates, had consultants look at it, had good sheep with good genetics, had a system I thought would work. I felt confident and the world was my oyster. 2022 was a good year. I did lots of my Nuffield travel, we had a good season and a good lambing, hit our targets. The little holes in my system were just starting to appear. That spring, it started to get dry. The lambs weren't gaining weight like I had forecast. I was able to lock in some contracts, but I would need to feed my lambs to get them there. That's okay. I'd allow for that. Sorry. Then the wool was only worth $1 a head. That's okay. Allow for that. Then the interest rates creeping up. That's okay. Allow for that. Then the land prices started to fall. That's okay, I locked some in. We couldn't get our fodder crop. That's okay, I'll just feed them. But it wasn't okay. The walls are closing in. By June, I had 5,000 lambs to sell. My cost of production was nearing $7 a kilo, and lambs were only making close to $5. We were leveraged to the eyeballs. My lambs were eating my lambing feed. This wasn't working. Even if we could survive this season, I couldn't see this being sustainable going forward. My system was broken. It didn't fit my environment. I was working day and night. I had staff to worry about and I had a high cost production system. I couldn't handle the ups and downs. It was this low point I revisited the lessons from my Nuffield studies with fresh eyes. During my travels, I'd encountered operations that thrived not only because they chased the latest innovations, but because they kept things simple and deeply understood their environment. These producers did not rely on complex systems or cutting-edge technology. They focused on what worked best in their specific conditions. It became clear that while my initial focus had been precision agriculture, the more critical lesson was about simplicity, stripping away unnecessary complexity and aligning my system with the realities of our land. It was clear I needed to change, to bounce forward. The systems thinking I encountered during my Nuffield travels reminded me that often best solutions are the simplest ones. It brought me back to the first principles, understanding your environment, your resources and adapting your system to fit the simplest, most effective way possible. It was an opportunity. Previously, my family farm had run merino wethers. It's a simple system and was done to allow my parents to focus on their other business. I'd always enjoyed running them. They're resilient creatures once you get them past a year old. Keep them healthy, keep the costs down, and they could handle a tough year. I ran the numbers, turned out they were actually $5 a DSE ahead of the ewes. I had great wool growing country, understood the genetics I needed to chase, and it gave me the flexibility to adjust my stocking rate with the season. So here was the opportunity. I could swap my ewes out and buy the wethers of this poor sheep market, but I needed to act now. We could see the demand for ewes falling, so we stepped up, scanned the ewes, put them on the box, sold them $160 a head. We had caught the last train out of Dodge. We waited, as the cheap price crashed and started buying. So by the start of this year, we were back up to 12,000 wethers with room to run 20,000. The last 3 years have been my MBA, a crash course in resilience, adaptation and humility. I am still recovering. But I now have a system that not only pays the bills, but also gives me time to what truly matters: my family, my health, and yes, even a new hobby. I'm sure the system will continue to evolve, but today I feel confident and happy again. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think I just can't help but listen to that, Andrew, and think what extraordinary courage, because you obviously adore public speaking, but in addition to that, to reflect as you have done, and my husband and I have been through a little bit of the crash course. I put in 6.25% when I was doing mine, and I thought that was a big buffer at the time, and it just got closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, damn it, that's not a buffer at all.
No.
So I do feel for you. So if you were advising someone now, and they were taking that really courageous step back and looking at themselves and saying, I need to understand my system, with all the benefit of your 2020 hindsight, where would you tell them to start?
You've got to really know what you're capable of. I think that's something I underestimated, but also understand what your country is capable of, what the farm or the resource base that you've got, what's that actually capable of doing. And I've probably overestimated my capability in my country, to be honest. But I think that understanding that we'll say in a livestock system, which is what I know best, is that feed curve. It's such a critical thing, and I think it's not well understood. But if you can really build that up, you can build your system around that. And I think the Monaro feed curve, for anyone who knows Monaro, is quite erratic. So for me, it's something I probably need to step back and look at before I started, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. And were there people that you drew on, especially that were particularly that you were drawing on in this process, that you might say those are the people that you turn to for your advice, were whether it was neighbours or benchmarking or your accountant or others?
We're part of a benchmarking group, and we've got there's a progressive group in the Monaro, but also my Nuffield colleagues, and we've got amazing resources here, and we've got, as Jess said, the Nuffield sheep group. It's really good.
Yeah. The WhatsApp group.
But the people and my advisors and my bankers, all those people, the people that you need in your business, those relationships have been so critical, and I'm so lucky I had those relationships to get through what we just went through, because without that I'd be stuffed. Yeah.
It is very much about the people, and when you talk about the resources, that's what really jumped to me, and I was curious because to me the hardest resource to manage is people, and you talked about it was knowing what yourself were capable of. Have you got a team around you that you took with you on your journey, or were you...
I found that part quite challenging too. I had a reasonably good team, and I was a new skill set, so I think I was a bit overwhelmed because it all come at once. And I was trying to learn how to manage staff, learn to manage business and it's just, I feel that's really a skill that I probably didn't have enough of at the time as well. So I've stripped that all back, and I've gone, and it's a really simple, low cost, and for me, I'm going to build myself back up into that when I feel like I'm ready.
Well, I think that's fantastic, and well done. Thank you for sharing.